political party. And to date, even the reconciliation attempts made, there are still more divisions. Although the PDP has come up in a statement to say that they are well and they have been able to, they are on their ways towards fixing their problems. Whether that is true or not is what we intend to see practically. The APC too has issues which it is trying to fix across states. Now, let's talk about this in plain words. Based on what is on ground, how do you foresee the future of our political parties in the next election?
Well, thank you very much for that question.
Yes.
Very serious one.
Yes.
For that matter. I want to start by giving the foundation for what we are experiencing in Nigeria today. What we are having today is as a result of the ills in political development of the past. Since 1999, we have been having crisis within the political parties, between the players, even within the same political party. You are aware very much that between Obasanjo and Atiku, that was when the first fight within political parties started. Obasanjo want to exercise authority. I would say the other time I was discussing the mentality of the military was brought in, where I say even the military itself was part of the problem, because they wanted to put in one of their own that probably would take their interest at heart. Recently, I listened to Olufalaye, who contested with Obasanjo, and was discussing how he won, but was not declared because of political or military interests. So when our president Obasanjo came in, that military mentality was enforced. So there was a problem between him and his vice.
That's Atiku Abubakar.
Atiku Abubakar. Then that went on. I have a very powerful book that I title Political Management and Administration in Nigeria. In that place, I traced how bad the Nigerian system is compared to South Africa, even America, where real democracy is taking place. That in Nigeria, what is ruling, what is affecting us is the issue of godfatherism. You don't have godfatherism in South Africa. You don't have godfatherism in America. Thabo Mbeki never wanted his vice to succeed him.
Yes. Yeah, but Honorable, basically what I was trying to drive us towards is looking at the future of our elections based on what is happening amongst our political actors at the moment.
Yes.
What do you foresee?
That is why I'm saying that yes, if for you to foresee, you have to get the what is behind it.
It's okay.
Yes, that's why I'm giving you example to tell you that in Nigeria, even what we are going to see in future, if things is not changed, it will still be a continuation of what we are having. So where real political parties are free to be independent of their own, they should be able to call Mr. President to order. But in Nigeria it is not so, because the president is the one waging the hammer and render the political management or political leaders, other political leaders, powerless, to the extent that when Chief Adogbe raised an objection or even tried to give advice to Mr. President, he was removed. Contrary to what I'm telling you about South Africa, where a party chairman can say no to you.
Did he only render advice to Mr. President, or he challenged Mr. President? Because the news came in two ways. Some persons said he challenged the authority of Mr. President, but in his words he said he only advised. So which do you think?
The one I take is that he was advising Mr. President that what is, if he gave, I still remember vividly what happened, especially in Anambra State, that he should be careful. That was an advice. So compared to that one with what I've telling you about Thabo Mbeki and the president of ANC in South Africa, we have a political party chairman told Thabo Mbeki, next election you will not be there, and it was so. Tried to do the same here. It was he was removed. So that is the first thing that is behind all these political intrigues we are experiencing in Nigeria, all the states together entirely. So when you bring it, the situation, that godfatherism situation into Nigerian politics, it is also the origin of conflict we are having, especially within the states.
So in essence, what you're saying is that there has never been unity in our political system since inception of democracy.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because of the doctrine of godfatherism. That we can see what is going on in Rivers State.
Yes. But when you say that, at the moment, Mr. President doesn't have a godfather, does he?
Well,
is there anyone you can point to that is the godfather to Mr. President? I'm talking about the incumbent president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Say behind the scene.
But obviously, apparently who?
Buhari was the godfather of Tinubu.
But Buhari doesn't seem to be interfering with the system.
Because without his consent, there was a time Tinubu was on fire to thinking that President Buhari was against him. But Buhari came out openly to prove that he was not against him. So, but even then, the crisis we have within political parties today is more or less on state at the state level. We don't have much a crisis within at the national level.
That's why why, in my opinion, I'm feeling that this is the only first president we have that do not have a godfather. I want us to establish that clearly so that we can build up our conversation from there.
I think I will agree. That's why I say that behind the scene. That yes, behind the scene.
There appears to be.
Yes, if a sitting president doesn't support you, he will do everything.
So, but does that automatically
not to be there?
Does that automatically make him the godfather? Support is not the same as being a godfather, don't you think so?
No, in terms of godfatherism, you cannot, because the meaning of godfatherism is that the godfathers have the money. The godsons don't have the money. So, but in case of Tinubu, you cannot, that one does not apply to him, because he even have more money than even the godfather.
Very well then. so now,
that's why I said the national level.
So now, give us a picture of what you have seen in the next election.
Well, what I have seen in the next election.
What you have foreseen.
Yes.
Because it hasn't come yet.
Yes. What I'm foreseeing in the next election is that the situation will be very, very interesting. Take example of Mr. President. President Muhammad Buhari was in power for 8 years.
Yes.
God, before it went to south. Now South is on seat now, they will expect to do 8 years, just like what happened in the North. But very interesting situation. If it's going to be in the South,
But is the 8 years a must?
8 years,
Is it a must?
I think so. It should, for fairness, for justice that I always preach.
But Jonathan never enjoyed that. President Jonathan, in the list of the presidents we have,
Yes.
yes, of course, for Yaradua it was because of
Sickness.
and death.
Yes.
But as for Goodluck Jonathan, he was not allowed to enjoy up to that. So
Well, that was by a decision of me and you. We decided to bring in a different person.
No,
because
but
of what
he
we
said
are
himself that
doing.
the blood of any citizen is not what you
Very
know,
good. That was
good.
and that's why I say it was the decision of me and you, because even where people presume that there was fraud in terms of voting and result and all these things, at least we'll give it that people exercise their franchise. A majority decision seems to, even like I say, people who are still doubting on the credibility of the election, but I would say to a reasonable extent it was fair, because you judge fairness even from what happened in your polling unit. So if for Tinubu to spend for the South to spend 8 years, and mark you, what you are discussing now is that it's not just about what happened since 1999, whether 8 years was here or 4 years are there. The issue at hand now is that they not spent 8 years
Good.
consecutively.
Yes. Okay, consecutively. Yes, but the South has not spent that consecutively.
Yes, apart, that's why I say removing what happened from 1999, but to current situation. So now that after 8 years it went to the South. The South, it is for justice. It is, we expect that the South will have the presidency for 8 years. But the issue now is that having the Southwest having spent 8 years have been issued under Obasanjo. Now Tinubu, after spending 4 years, the critical question that will come in 2020 from 2026 to 2027 is whether the Southwest will still spend the additional 4 years, or whether it will go to Southeast.
All right, now you are doing the rotation. Not this time is not just you are not limiting the discussion between South and West. You are also bringing in the issue of the Southeast and Southwest. You understand? Now, even now, let's look at this. This matter is on the table now. Let's dissect it clearly. In the North, we have the core North. We have Northeast and Northwest. We even have the North Central region. Do you understand? But in the South, we have the Southeast, we have the Southwest. In all of what you're saying here, you didn't mention the East. The East, the eastern part of the country, where the majority of the Igbos, which you know, have never enjoyed from the presidency. Why didn't you mention them?
No, I mentioned it now. I said that in 2027, we expect the presidency to be in the South. But whether
it will go to Southeast,
be Southwest or Southeast is something that will come up in 2026
so why didn't you also mention North Central? Because North Central too has never enjoyed presidency.
Yes, the issue of North Central,
and it's a big region.
Yes, the issue of North Central, I've told you that the rotation now, the discussion on table now is the North versus the South. I have made a statement that we in 2020, having spent 8 years consecutively in the North, which includes the North Central, we expect the 8 years to be completed in the south.
Good. So if it is completed
So,
in the south,
yes, if it
where
is-
do you think it should the pendulum should swing to?
If
The current, okay, let's take it that if President Bola Ahmed Tinubu doubles his tenure,
yes,
where do you think
very good.
power
Now,
should rotate?
that is where there will be a clear chance for the North Central.
Good.
Because if all this while it had been on the northwest, northeast, and for definitely, I expect that as after the 2027, after the South completed their 8 years, I would say every thinking Nigerian should expect that when it comes to the north, it should be North Central.
Yes, all right. And so when it comes to the North Central region of Nigeria, I want to be straight to who do you think the cap is going to fit, or it's too early to
Well,
hatch?
no, it is
The earth.
everything. Well, the problem we have in this country is our inability to search for the right person. In one of my books, like
So what makes it difficult for us to search for the right person?
Because they say the responsibility. There's a quotation I made somewhere that it is the responsibility of the elites to search and bring forward somebody that will be an exemplary leader, even if it means bringing him from overseas to come where they know they have confidence in you. It is our responsibility to search. So right now, to answer your question,
But there are forces that
Yes.
sometimes hinder the search.
yes, well, the forces is where we are getting it wrong. That's why Nigeria is in trouble.
How can we get rid of the forces?
Well,
Because if there is a cankerworm that is, if let's give a practical example. If a farmer discovers a very stubborn weed that is called striga, it destroys any kind of plant. If that is discovered on the farm, the first thing for you to do, if you must continue farming on that piece of land, is for you to get rid of striga, and it's something that has to be done from the roots. Now, why is it difficult for Nigerians to get rid of that bad system or that bad cabal that has been stopping Nigerians from selecting leaders of their choice?
Yeah, that is a very heavy task, because I continue to say that the problem with Nigeria is that the citizens don't have the opportunity to recruit their leaders by themselves. If not to help the situation at the federal, if not until recently, even from the presidency to the governors to the chairman, citizens are not allowed to be the decider of who govern them, and that has been the root of the crisis, economic crisis, insecurity crisis, political crisis we have in this country, because the few instead of the majority, the few that decide these people are not real leaders. Continue to say that a real and a good leader, one way of finding that somebody is good is that he is able to bring somebody, a good leader that everybody will clap for. If a leader is unable to bring, which is, like I say, is wrong, it's not it is a wrong doctrine to say that we'll continue to depend on one or few persons to bring Mr. President, to bring Mr. Governor, to bring Mr. Chairman.
Yes, but we had established here that the issue of godfatherism is already a thing of the past, because now that we have a president whom you cannot clearly identify who is his godfather, it means we have said goodbye to.
Well, that we are talking of the national level
Yes.
now. But the
Now
greatest problem we are even having today
The
is
sub-
at the state levels.
Good. Now let's deal with the issue of the subnational. Let's take a look at the issue of the subnational. Now the issue of the subnational is something that we have to. Even at the subnational, can you agree with me that there are most of the states that are without the issue of godfatherism is eliminated now? Can you agree to that?
I will not agree because
Can you identify a godfather in Benue?
yes.
And who could that be?
Well, it's I think even people in the village, knows that Senator George Akume is the godfather of Alia.
So is a godfather syndrome playing
So,
out here in the States?
Yes, we have the godfather problem in River State. We have the godfather problem in Kaduna State. We have the godfather crisis in Benue State.
Yes.
What we are facing within the states is purely the issue of a fight between godfathers and godsons.
Were you part of the thank you tour of His Excellency, Very Reverend Father Dr. Hyacinth Umemalia, when he was in the capital of Zone A, which is Kasnala?
No, I was not there.
You did good. When Senator Barnabas Andia Gemade, former national chairman of the People's Democratic Party and two-time senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, said Governor Alia does not have and will never have a godfather because he is a father himself.
No, that is not true. Completely not true. Because there was something I issued on my Facebook wall that what brought people, majority of Benue State, to Alia was what I refer to as alienization of Benue State by Akume and Co.
Okay.
Without them bringing, of course, we are all witnessing the fight, even up to I've said, even up to Supreme Court, where the contenders, even within APC, went to all the judiciary levels to make sure it is Alia was removed, even where he won the highest majority ever in Benue State. But the majority, or the decision of the majority, because Akume knew that the majority of Benue State was behind him, he fought tooth and nail to make sure that everybody gave way.
It's all right. Well, some of us, the fight, we were not privy to any information as to whether he was actually fighting, but we knew that he actually pioneered the coming on board of His Excellency, and we have seen very clearly that there is even unity amongst them. Why are people saying there is no unity? You saw the reconciliation at the palace of the Bao Tiv, the paramount ruler of the Tiv nation, where they embraced themselves, marking the beginning of reconciliation and peace in the state. And I have never seen them exchanging words even in the media space. And so where is the notion of they are not, having things to do together coming from? Where is it emanating from? Just take this one quickly before we go on break.
Well, I think that one is clear. There was a forum that I said that reconciliation was television reconciliation, and it was not reconciliation from inside.
But apart from that, I recall when he came to the state during his birthday, and he said everybody should work with his Excellency.
Yes, I told you the real problem. The real problem of what is happening in Benue State is the fight between the people who have directly benefited from Akume and people who have directly benefited, even now, political appointment and otherwise, from Alia. So each camp I'm telling you that there are some persons, both from this camp or the other camp, that they wouldn't want peace because they are making their money through to say don't agree.
It's all right. Agree. That's great. Let's go. We are due for a break at this point. It's the Table Talk on Benue Television, and we are looking at political party reconciliation and permutations. You know that the elections coming up 2027, and political actors will have to take a look very closely at the theater of our political system as they will prepare for the next election. This is exactly what we're taking a look at. We'll go on a break and return to take the last segment of our discussion on this. Stay with us. Welcome back to the program. This is Table Talk on Benue Television, and we are looking at reconciliation and permutation amongst political parties ahead of elections. We have a former chairman of the local government that's talking about Honorable Abo, who is in the house here to, lend his voice on this pressing topic. Let's look further. We have been talking about the permutation aspect. Let's look at what do you foresee in Edo State? Because the elections are going to be coming, I think 22nd of this month.
Yes.
We're going to have elections in Edo State. That's 22nd of next month.
Yes.
So what do you, what can you say? Do you see the ruling party as trying to wield of a bearing influence to take the governorship seat, or you see an atmosphere where everything is going to be free and fair?
Thank you very much for that question for Edo State.
Yes.
I've been following what is happening in the state, and I think the first thing that made me to even express surprise is when I heard just about 4 days ago that in Benin, that is more or less my place, because when I lived in Lagos, that's where I was almost making a move almost every 2 weeks.
Yes.
That up to now they don't have a flyover. So that it was one lady, one powerful political that this was making that statement. In fact, it's like I say, I have to call somebody from that place, and they confirm is that I say, no, that even here, I've been crying against the situation where our surrounding states, Nasarawa or Benue State, that is 20 years, how do you say it, 20 years younger than Benue, have almost 15 flyovers. The same thing about Kogi State, have flyovers. Nasarawa, Cross River, all our surrounding states have flyovers. It's only Benue that is still thinking, or still until earlier came before we started seeing a sign of a flyover. So when I heard that even Edo State, that is a highly developed place like that, doesn't have a flyover, that one gave me a very bad impression about even the governors right from in fact all of them right from the 1999 this man that was accused of corruption, free in Nigeria, but Ibori.
I'm talking about James Ibori.
Yes, but only sentenced in charge in London. That we mean from all these people to Shimole to represent a person, no flyover in that great city of Benin, especially that
an ancient city.
Yes,
very old city.
That especially that ring road. Huh? So I was, in fact, I said, it means they have not been doing anything. It means invariably that means.
But apart from good road, apart from flyover, Adams Oshiomhole did construct very good roads.
Yes.
Because I visited Edo and I saw that good roads were seen there.
Yes. That is Oshiomhole, of course. Oshiomhole tried. Oshiomhole had been trying anywhere he went, even as a Nigerian Labour Congress. There was a time Nigerians were listening to him rather than listening to Obasanjo. So the Edo election is going to be another tough election among three major political parties: the PDP, the ruling party there, the APC, and then the Labour Party.
Where do you see the opposition?
The opposition?
Yes. Edo State is the governorship election is keenly contested.
Yes.
Amongst Akpata of the Labour Party.
Yes.
We also have a strong candidate for the All Progressives Congress,
yes,
and the PDP,
yes,
as well.
yes.
And you also can remember vividly the fight between incumbent Obasaki,
yes,
and of the deputy. That's talking about Philip Shuaibu.
God, that
yes.
is where
you know that there has been fracas in that.
That is where I say the election there will be tense, because from what is happening, especially between his deputy, the way Godwin Obasaki, the governor, went to humiliate his deputy Shabu. It was on a very bad note, to the extent that sometimes even in the public, the deputy Philip Shaibu, the deputy will want to shake him. We will dodge. No pretense, showing enmity in the public like that. That more or less make people to be annoyed. The level basically took the fight between him and his deputy. So what he did tends to be swinging more favor to APC through Philip Shaibu. That is the way I'm looking at it. That's why I continue. I used to say that yes, there's if you want to be annoyed, if you want to hate, there are some areas. Even this is my advice to the entire governors in this country. Even if you want to hate somebody, if you want to push somebody, especially people that are working with you, don't take it to the level that you lose respect even before the people you are governing, because of the level you are showing bitterness to some persons, even within your government. So the level Governor Godwin Obaseki took the hate against his deputy have been too bad. You can see now, it seems as if majority, because I will not say everybody, majority of Edo people, and even the court now seems to be favoring Philip Shaibu, even in the same party. Now that Philip Shaibu has gone to APC, in quote, because he has not officially.
Yes, because he has not declared officially. Yes. I'm happy you said it.
Yes. Now that his sympathy is with APC. If I want to predict, I will say everything being equal, APC might take the leadership in Edo State.
But you know that Edo State is ancestral and known for PDP for a very long time.
Yes.
Several past regimes have tried to take Edo State out of the whims and caprices of the PDP, but it has been very difficult. Don't you think the vast majority of the Edo people have aligned with the People's Democratic Party, or with the coming of Labour Party strongly?
Yes.
Don't you think anything can happen?
That is why I say this is a fight. This is a fight between among the three. I'm only saying that because of how the level Godwin Obaseki took his hit against his deputy, is that he's losing. He has made the party to lose many sympathizers. So it will be, if in statistics what we call something interpolation. Interpolation is when you have a trend. When you have a trend and you want to use the trend of the past to determine the future, you will now say, watch Labour Party.
Yeah.
Because at the presidential election the other time, Labour Party took Edo State. So that's why I say, following it.
And that was why I was trying to ask you, don't you think it's better to say that anything can happen? Because you saw how far Labour Party pushed in Edo, and no one actually believed that Labour Party will have such level of effort done in Lagos and in Edo State.
Yes.
You saw how far they went.
Yes, that's what I say.
So is it possible to predict Edo's governorship election, the go-by election? Do you think it's possible to predict?
Well, why I'm predicting? Why I'm predicting, even where I say everything being equal, because it's in economics, because there are factors that will tell you that yes, everything be equal, but there are many things that can make it not to be equal. So that's why I say what is happening in Edo State is that everything being equal, there are things that may make the situation not to be equal, because of the sympathy I told you about the hit of Philip Shabu by Obaseki. Now, if you now go to the other side, you will now see that yes, presidential election, the presidency got Labour Party got Edo State during the last election. Can that one repeat? Now the question now is that people during the presidential election, the competitive presidential election, people voted for personalities, not necessarily the political parties.
Good.
Especially that of Edo, Lagos. People voted for Obi. That's why when it came to the governor's election,
yes,
it was not the same in Lagos.
It's all right.
Lagos have to know their brother Owambe.
Yes, Owambe. Yes. now let's talk about finally, because our time is not on our sides. Let's look at this very important aspect now. Based on what's happening, the permutations are showing that PDP has sat and they are already beginning to tip candidates for their presidential bid, where some members went with Atiku Abubakar. The vast majority of the PDP, national caucus were of the opinion that Atiku shouldn't be the decider of the fate of PDP. And some persons came up with former president. I was talking about Jonathan. So now, and at the same time, there has been speculations that we are not dealing with speculations anywhere. But if this be the truth, what do you think is going to be the result? That PDP, Labour Party, and SDP may have, talking about and NNPP, yes, may have a measure to be able to wield more influence to win the election. If this happens, do you think it's possible for them to pull through at the presidency?
Well, thank you. I have already made a statement here and said, yes, in 2027, we expect the presidency to be in the south, to be able to consecutively complete the 8 years, like was the case in the north. That being the case, it automatically removed Atiku from the race. Even where he's there, the PDP will know that they will have problem, because people will expect that even if it's leaving the south, it's supposed to go to southeast, and southeast might include well, let me just this. So that is the first permutation now. That issue of if it's not going to be, if Tinubu is not going to repeat another 4 years after 2027, I made a statement here that I expect it for justice, that it will still remain in the south, and for it to remain in the south, if it's not going to Tinubu or the southwest to make it 16 years for them, if it's not going to be there, we expect that the 2027 presidential election will favor the southeast, and therefore the permutation of Atiku trying to come up, it will even be to the disadvantage of PDP, and it will even be worse for him if the other three political parties join together. They wouldn't want to give him the ticket.
It's all right. Well, I must thank you very much. I appreciate you, Honorable Abo, for being a part of our discussion here. This is a democratic government, and we have to keep talking politics so that the people get to understand where things are going. I want to thank you very much indeed for your insight shared here on the program. We hope to have you anytime soon for another engagement. I appreciate you for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yes. And so this is where we have to say goodbye for today. By Monday, we shall be here with yet another very interesting episode of the program. For now, let us politic well, and for democracy to grow, we need peace and unity, more reconciliations, more peace in our political party system. My name is Japhet Kwaho. Goodbye for now.